Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
जब भी थका हो जाए तो स्क्रॉल करते ना स्क्रॉल
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Jayo Prabhupada. Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. के बजायो जय गौर हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा 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 हरे हरे Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Radhe, Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Kipa Jayo, Jaya Gaura Chande, Arati Kishoba. Kipa Jayo, Jaya Gaura Chande, Arati Kishoba. Janavita Tavane Jagamana Loba
Jaha Lobha
Dakhine Tai Chanda Pameka Dadara
Eva Dakshine Nitai Cha
Nikate Advaita Shine Vasachatradhara Vasi Ache Gauracha Ratna Singhasane Arati Kore Na Brahma Adi Devagane Nara Hari Adi Kodi Chamaradulaya Sanjaya Mukunda Basu Koshayati Jaya Shankha Baje Kanta Baje Baje Karatala
करता
Madhura Medanga Baje Paramam Kala Desevana Mala Koridala Bala Kala Desevana Shiva Shukhanarada Preme Gadadara Shiva Shukhanarada Preme Gadadara Hakati Vinoda Dekhe Gaurara Sampada Gati Vinoda Gaurange Arati Kishoba Jagamana Mana Loba Gaurange Arati Shoba Jagamana Loba Gaurange Arati Kishoba Jagamana Mana Loba Gaurange Arati Shoba Jagamana Loba Gaurange Arati Kishoba Jagamana Mana Loba Gaurange Arati Shoba Jagamana Loba Gaurange Arati Kishoba Jagamana Mana Loba Gaurange Arati Shoba Jagamana Loba Gaurange Arati Kishoba Jagamana Mana Loba Gaurange Arati Shoba Jagamana Loba Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatyakte Shatarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatyakte Shatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narashimhaya.
Prahlada Dahine.
Praladadaine.
Hiranyakashipurvachaha.
Hiranyakashipurvakshaha.
Shilatankanakalaye. Ito nasima parato nasima. Yato yato yami tato nasima. Pahe nasima hridaye nasima. Narasima madim sharanam prapate. Tava kara kamalavare nakha. Adbhuta shinga. Dalita hiranyakashipu. Tanu Vrinda. Keshavadita narahari rupa. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare.
Jagadish Hare, Jagadish Hare, Jai Jagadish Hare.
Jaya Narasimha Dev, Jaya Narasimha Dev, Jaya Narasimha Dev, Jaya Narasimha Dev.
Jaya Narasimhadev, 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 Jaya Narasimhadev.
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj.
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol.
Narasimha Bhagwan ki,
Jai,
Prahlad Maharaj ki,
Jai,
Srila Prabhupada ki,
Jai,
Tagore Premanande.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. So we will now offer our respectful obeisances by touching our forehead to the ground if you're able to, and we'll recite the Premavani prayers. When I say ki, please say Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivachakacharya Ashtota Shata Shishmad. His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivachakacharya Ashtota Shata Shishmad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Sham Kund Radhakund Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Mathura Dham ki Jai. Navadik Mayapur Dham ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham ki Jai. Ganga Mai ki Jai. Tulsi Devi ki Jai. Bhakti Devi ki Jai. Samavita Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishnapastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Vicharani Nirvishesha Shinyavadi Pastrata Tanye. So we'll now request everyone to please be seated and face the right-hand side of the room. Welcome everybody to our weekly Sunday feast. We're very happy that you're able to be with us today. Before we get started, if I can humbly request everyone to please move forward. We have a lot of people who come afterwards and we can make some space for everyone in the back. So if you can please move forward. Don't be shy, it's okay, you can all move forward, there's lots of space. So I'd like to introduce our speaker for today, Vrinda Devidasi. She currently serves on ISKCON's Canadian National Council and the North American Vision Team, as well as facilitating a lot of work for ISKCON Manitoba. So she's come all the way today to Toronto for us. She's edited the Grihasta Vision Team's lovely handbook, Heart and Soul Connection, a devotional guide to marriage, service, and love. She's also authored a book for preteen devotees called The Ram Club and the Rathriyatra Rubies. Please join me in welcoming Vrinda Devidasi.
So we'll start with Jai Radha. Okay, so nice to be here with all of you. We'll start with chanting Jai Radha Madhava in call and response. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Thank you. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So let's start with the lovely Mangala charms that are at the beginning of Srila Prabhupada's introduction to Bhagavad Gita. I think some of you will know them, so just shout them out right out along with me. Not call and response, just all in unison, okay? Om Jnana Timirandasya Jananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakant Vitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshvari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all so much. Today I wanted to share with you the very, very first things that Prabhupada wrote for us when he started to write his purport for Bhagavad Gita. So we have chapter 1, text 1, and you all know what's happening in that. Dhritarashtra is looking out, not able to look out, but hearing, please tell me, what are my sons and the sons of Pandu going to do? They look like they're going to fight. And Srila Prabhupada starts his purport with some really lovely, interesting, it might look pretty simple at first, and what I was really interested is how much depth there is in every single word here. So he starts with Bhagavad Gita, right, is the widely read theistic science. Okay, so widely read. Bhagavad Gita is, Srila Prabhupada here is saying, Bhagavad Gita is widely read. We could look at that from a lot of different ways, and they're all good ways to look at it. I bet if I asked every one of you what widely read meant to you, we would have so many different angles on it, so many interesting insights from everybody's different angle of vision. And we know that Prabhupada wanted us to study the scriptures very carefully from many angles of vision, every angle of vision that we can think of, and to discuss it threadbare. So let's look at it threadbare. Let's look at look at each word and what it contains. So widely read, that could talk about, so many places in the world. What do you think? Is Bhagavad Gita fairly widely read if we're talking about geography? Yeah, lots of places in the world. We're in Canada. We know what's happening in the States. We know what's happening in India. We know what's happening in Bhaktivedanta Manor. So yeah, widely read is true. We even know what's happening in Russia and China. So widely read geographically, that's true. Widely read from a sense of, like, Bhagavad Gita's been around for how many years? How many thousand years? 5,000 years. And during those 5,000 years, did it keep being read? Yeah. So in sense of time, it's also been widely read. And do only one kind of people read Bhagavad Gita? Do only children read Bhagavad Gita? Do only adults read Bhagavad Gita? Do only rich people read Bhagavad Gita? Widely read. Okay, so I think it's true. Widely read from so many points of view. And if we, went around the room, we'd probably find other ways of looking at widely read. So there's really a lot to think about just in those two words. Widely read. Then Srila Prabhupada says, Bhagavad Gita is the widely read theistic science. What do you think when you think science? There is proof, logic, method. Experiments done? Yes. The scientific method, hypothesis, experiment, see what happens. See, and then try it again, and have other people try it again. See if it comes out the same. That's a science. I'm sure many of you here are engineers and doctors and biologists and chemists and pharmacists and other careers that you've studied science. And Srila Prabhupada here is not saying this is religion. He's saying this is a science. So, with everybody's experience of science, we could probably also dig deep and find that there's a lot just in that fact that Srila Prabhupada is saying Bhagavad Gita is a science. Now we notice he's got an adjective in front of science. He said it's a certain kind of science, theistic science. Now that's a word we don't talk about every day. You don't go around probably mentioning it at the breakfast table or anything about, hey, I think I'm going to have a theistic something today. We don't usually say that. We're much more likely to speak about the opposite word. Even that we might not say from one year to the next, but we are more likely to use the word atheistic, right? So atheistic means what? Yeah, no God. Opposite of theistic. And theistic, of course, like theology, is referring to there being a supreme God. So Srila Prabhupada is saying that this is a theistic science. So he's saying it's not an atheistic science. There are atheistic science, although science, as we know as physical science, it's not really about the matter of God. So we do need a science of God. So here we have a science of God. And there's so many more things we could dig into that about what does it mean to say it's a theistic science. But let's move on to a little what Srila Prabhupada says next. He says that the Bhagavad Gita is the widely read theistic science summarized in the Gita Mahatmya. Okay, let's look at summarized first. What does summarized mean? If something's been summarized, what do you expect? Essence given without taking up as much space and words, and yeah, the distilled, so that's one summarized, yes. Some people for summarized might go for an outline, bullet points, or there might be some other ideas of what can be summarized, and they're all right, they're all correct. You know, we understand from what Srila Prabhupada has taught us that Krishna really likes variety. So all our variety of answers, all our angles of vision are all good. We see, you know, no two snowflakes alike, no two fingerprints alike, no DNA exactly alike unless you happen to be identical twins. So there's, in whatever we know about Krishna and what he likes, we know he likes variety. He doesn't want cookie cutter, or he would make all the snowflakes exactly the same. And he would make everybody's fingerprint exactly the same. But instead, he's got such variety. You know, they say variety is the spice of life. Krishna likes pleasure. He gets pleasure from all of variety. And, you know, sometimes we think that it would be nice not to have the variety because then everybody would agree with me. But apparently, if you're really confident in your supreme role as Krishna is, you really like variety. You don't have to have everything exactly the same. You're really happy when there's differences and other angles of looking at things. So the other angles can enrich it. It doesn't have to be exactly like me and agree with me in order for it to be useful. So we have here that the theistic science is summarized in the Gita Mahatmya, which means glorification of the Gita. Okay, why is he telling us right here, Gita Mahatmya? Where does Gita Mahatmya come from? Where does that come into it? Well, if we read the introduction, you know, we just chanted that lovely Mangalacharan. So there's this much of the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, about 30 pages. Yep, 30 pages is a fantastic essay. Really, an amazing introduction to the subject matter of the Gita. And at the end of it, Srila Prabhupada quotes and unpacks a little the Gita Mahatmya of Adi Shankar. And so it's there, all 7 slokas of it. And so apparently, most likely, he's talking about that Gita Mahatmya since it's just, 2 pages away. So he says that Bhagavad Gita is the widely read theistic science summarized in the Gita Mahatmya. So let's see, does the Gita Mahatmya have any summary of Bhagavad Gita? So the first verse says that if one properly follows the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, one can be freed from all the miseries and anxieties of life. One will be freed from all fears in this life, and one's next life will be spiritual. Okay, maybe that's the summary, maybe that's the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Freed from all the miseries and anxieties of life if we properly follow the instructions. If we treat it as a science and actually take the steps that are outlined. And then the second shloka of the Gita Mahatmya, if one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all seriousness, then by the grace of the Lord, the reactions of his past misdeeds will not act upon him. Oh, you know, often when it often happens when I give a class to students, like university-aged young people, often the questions at the end are pretty much always, what can I do about my karma? How do I get free of the reactions of my past life and my present life activities? And here we have, if one reads the Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all seriousness, then by the grace of the Lord, the reactions of his past misdeeds will not act upon him. Okay, that's a pretty good way to get free of fear, right? If you know that by reading Bhagavad Gita sincerely, it will relieve you of your past misdeeds reactions. And then Srila Prabhupada goes straight to another verse from Bhagavad Gita, from the very near the end of Bhagavad Gita, 1866. Does anyone know what 1866 says in Bhagavad Gita? Some of you probably know. Abandon all varieties of religion, sarva dharman parityajya. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So there again we see delivering from sinful reactions and no need to fear. Krishna doesn't want us to be fearful. We're his beloved children. We're his sparks. He doesn't want us to be fearful. So it's interesting that in the purport for 1866, that verse is also identified as a summary of the Bhagavad Gita. So, and Srila Prabhupada has them here right side by side. He's got Gita Mahatmya, the second shloka, and then he's got the abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. And so, you know, you've all done some math where, you know, A equals C and B equals C. So what can we say about A and B? A must equal B, right? Or at least a big chunk of A and B have got a lot to do with each other if we're talking about words, not numbers. So then we could find out a very interesting thing from that. We find that by the end of Bhagavad Gita, the advice that Krishna gives to Arjuna in this very life-threatening and heartbreaking situation that he's in is abandon all varieties of religion. It's not about, you know, ekadashis, or it's not about, you know, vows, or it's about just surrender unto me. And so that's Krishna, of course. So Krishna is saying, just surrender. I remember many years wondering, how do you surrender? I would like to surrender. What do I do? How do you surrender? Obviously, the thing to do is surrender, but what does it even look like? And, you know, Arjuna even kind of asked Krishna that a little earlier in Bhagavad Gita. You know, one situated in transcendence. What is that? What does he walk like? What does he sit like? What does he talk like? You know, so how do we do it? How do we just surrender? Well, if A equals C and B equals C and A equals B, then one big aspect of surrender is if one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all seriousness. So there's a good starting point for that surrender to Krishna. Reading Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all seriousness. And I would like to suggest that that includes looking deeply at every single word in Srila Prabhupada's purports. Srila Prabhupada was a very unique person, obviously, very wise, almost a genius, and he had, when he was writing the purports for all the books that he translated, he had a stack of commentaries beside him. You know, they were all in Sanskrit and Bengali. I'm not going to learn enough Sanskrit and Bengali in my life to know what's in there. He was distilling them and getting the essence of them into his purports for us. He knew from listening carefully to his spiritual master, he knew from a lifetime of study, he knew from the works of Bhaktivinoda Thakur what the essence of the Vaishnava tradition is. And so he knew what he can safely tell us. And so he's telling us that Bhagavad Gita is the widely read theistic science summarized in the Gita Mahatmya. And there we've just seen the summary. Now, next sentence. What's in the Gita? Okay, he says, there it says. So there, he's going back to Gita Mahatmya. There it says, what we just learned, one should read Bhagavad Gita very scrutinizingly. There's an awfully big word, scrutinizingly. It goes back to a noun, scrutiny. Do you know that word, scrutiny? You know, sometimes people get upset with what their governments do, you know, and they say there should be some kind of an investigation. There should be some scrutiny into how they spend the money. So that's, you know, scrutiny is like really, really getting into it, tearing it apart and looking at every little bit. So we are supposed to study the Bhagavad Gita like that, like we're having an investigation, like the Bhagavad Gita is under scrutiny by us, and we're going to really find out what's going on. So that's how we're supposed to study the Bhagavad Gita. And then he says, with the help of a person who is a devotee of Sri Krishna. We don't have to do this alone. It's even better if we do it with help. What kind of things are help when you're studying a book? When you're studying? Yes, my dear. Discussion in association with devotees. Thank you. Yes, to discuss it with somebody else. Quite likely, they'll have a different take on it. And it will open up windows for you to things that you didn't realize before. Having a teacher explain it. That can be a really big help, right? If you've got somebody who's spent a couple years scrutinizingly studying it, they may already have seen some of those angles. And so that will be a big help. You can get guidance from someone who's more advanced in studying it and applying it to their life. That would be a big help. And you can also, yes. Does scrutiny mean looking very carefully at every word and putting post-its in and maybe underlining some? And yes, it can definitely mean putting post-its in and bookmarking things and making notes on your computer or in a notebook. Yes, it can definitely mean all that. And, you know, of course, it's very, very helpful to have a guide that's gone through the same path. It can also be helpful to have somebody who is going through it with you, who hasn't gone through it before. You're both going at it fresh. You're both having similar questions, and you're both, it's a kind of a, their experience is similar to yours, and you're exploring together. It can also help, you can also get help from somebody who is what is called a complete newbie, right? Because sometimes there are angles of questions, you'll go like, wow, where did that come from? But it'll be very useful, like, where did that come from? Where's that going to go? So you can get help from so many angles, as long as the person is a devotee of Sri Krishna, you know, as long as they're willing to buy into that theistic science of it. If it's all, you know, as long as they're willing to allow for the existence of Krishna. So obviously there's a lot you can get out of this, and there's half a sentence left with one really big thing in it. Okay, so there it says that one should read Bhagavad Gita very scrutinizingly.
with the help of a person who's a devotee of Sri Krishna. Obviously, we could unpack that a lot. Who counts as a devotee? We won't tonight. And the next thing is, and try to understand it. Let's just look at that. Does Srila Prabhupada say we have to get it? We have to understand it? He says, even if we try, we don't have to be perfect. We don't have to be like 100% successful in this. It's our effort. It's our try. This is one place where it's good to try. So that the mercy of that, just to try to understand it without personally motivated interpretations. Personally motivated interpretations, what's Prabhupada kind of implying there? Yeah. Someone who's not doing it for their own earning money or for their own gain in some way. People who interpret it to justify something they were going to do anyway. Going through scripture to cherry pick a few phrases to say, oh yes, I can have 7 wives, or something they are, wanting to do, and they'll just use the scripture to try to pick out a few phrases that'll seem to back up their thing they want to do. Somebody, you had your hand up. Yeah. To puff up their ego. Yes, and one of the, our philosophy is so nice that there's an answer for everything. And you can actually win the arguments in the, university coffee shop about, these existential issues when you know our philosophy really well. And unfortunately, that could lead to a little bit of ego. That could lead to feeling pretty, liking that feeling of being able to win the arguments. And so we wouldn't want that to take over. We wouldn't want to become personally motivated by that. We also know that Srila Prabhupada wrote Bhagavad Gita, and he called it Bhagavad Gita as it is. At the time that he translated Bhagavad Gita for us, were there any other Gitas available to read? Yeah, there were, weren't there? There were a few, but Prabhupada felt like he could not in good faith recommend them. And a lot of the reason for that was because some of these other editions of the Gita they were kind of trying to ride on the Gita's popularity and trying to load their own philosophy into the Gita, and so some of them would actually say things like, when Krishna says surrender unto me, he doesn't mean surrender unto me. He means surrender unto the principle of that, And so, but Srila Prabhupada brought to us wisdom from a tradition that says Krishna is a person. Krishna and Arjuna had this conversation. When Krishna says something, he basically means what he basically says. So that's why Srila Prabhupada went so far as Bhagavad Gita as it is, where the intent of Bhagavad Gita is based, the purports that he's writing are based on the conclusions right within Bhagavad Gita. So without personally motivated interpretations. So I want to give a few minutes for questions. And I also, just before that, while you're thinking about your questions, I wanted to just really I just personally want to express a really big thank you to Srila Prabhupada for going through all that work, writing, billions of words and in all his books, and distilling the Vedas for us, letting us know what applies to us in Kali Yuga. Especially, we show our respect to Srila Prabhupada, and we, in the pranams that we say, we thank him for coming to the Western countries, which are full of impersonalism and voidism. You know, he knew what to do for the modern world, for the West. He's the one that really knows how to take that wisdom from the ancient times and apply it today. So I just wanted to just say a great big thank you to Srila Prabhupada for that. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So are there any questions, concerns, complaints, realizations? What do you usually do for questions? Do you... Okay, they have a mic to hand you. Who wants to ask a question? Here's a question over here. Does it have to be clicked on somehow, somewhere?
Sure. So in the purport, it was mentioned the theistic science. So I have a kind of a technical question from the Bhagavatam. When Prahlad was learning from Shukracharya, would that be considered an atheistic science, even though he was learning about the Vedas?
Do you have a thought on that? Well, the atheistic or theistic aspect of it is more in the heart of the learner than it is in the science itself. And the reason for that is because there isn't anything anywhere that isn't an energy of Krishna. You know, sometimes we like, ooh, material energy, but Krishna in Bhagavad Gita calls it this divine energy of mine. You know, so the science of, you know, discerning what do atoms look like, the science of how does electricity work, all those things. The scientist is the atheist or theist person, but the science itself is always Krishna's science. The science of, you know, how teamwork happens. How's that? Forming, norming, storming, forming, storming, norming, performing. You know, all those things that you can learn in the corporate world of how to get ahead in. The corporate world is using it to make money. That's making it not exactly theistic. But that knowledge, all that information about how it works, which is what science is about, right? That's Krishna that made it how it works. So the atheistic aspect or the theistic aspect is in the heart of the explorer, the scientist, the user. Do we use it for Krishna? Do we use it for our own puffed up egos? What do we use it for? That's where the atheist-theist aspect comes in. Does that help? Any other questions? Rajalalana.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much for the wonderful lecture. I wanted to ask, the atheistic, does it mean that follows the false ego?
Atheistic?
Yeah.
We all have false ego.
Yeah.
Because false ego means, like ego means I am, right? And anything that we finish that sentence with that isn't technically true is false. So ego, I am an old white lady, okay? It's actually not true because I'm a spirit soul. I'm a spark of Krishna. So when I'm thinking I'm anything related to my body, that's false ego, right? Because it's a false finishing of the sentence, I am. There's literally only one correct. There is a correct ego, right? But there's only one way to properly finish that sentence. Well, the general idea, I am a servant of Krishna, right? I am a spark of Krishna. I am beloved of Krishna. I am a lover of Krishna. Those things are true ego, right? But any of the other things that relate to my body or my mind or my temporary position in the way all the humans are all interacting or any of that, that's false ego. So a person could have, for your actual question, most atheistic understandings of things are automatically in the false ego category because they're not allowing for that part of the sentence that goes, servant of Krishna, lover of Krishna, because there's no Krishna in atheist, right? So yeah, false ego there. It's also that false ego is very sticky, and even when we start in on our scientific exploration of spiritual life, we may not immediately be able to drop all aspects of our false ego right away. It's, like a cabbage, you peel off one leaf and there's another leaf and there's another leaf and oh my goodness, there's another leaf. So it takes a lot of work to keep on peeling off the layers and layers of false ego that we've had accumulating around our pure spirit soul for so many lifetimes in the material mess. So to answer your question, I think it's true that false ego and atheist goes definitely together, but we can't just say that there's no false ego immediately as soon as we go down the path of theistic science. Yeah, we still got more work to do. Yeah. Other questions? Do we have time for? We have time for one more question? Is that all? Definitely last one. There's one over here.
Jai Shri Krishna Mataji. I have question on the aspect of saying Bhagavad Gita is a science, because science to me is basically exploring what is there, what is around us, and making a meaning of it and creating something new. Bhagavad Gita is much more beyond that. So Bhagavad Gita is what is there, what can be there, what is not there, what is before life, what is after life. So by calling Bhagavad Gita as a science, are we not belittling the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita?
Srila Prabhupada is calling it a science for a particular reason. It's a reason of great hope. The reason is that, it works if you do it. That it's scientific in that sense. I think somebody here was saying that as well. You follow the process, you get the result. If it's not a science, then it's either nothing or it's an art. And an art comes out different each time. There's a, touchy-feely thing to it where, and you have to be a genius and have masterpiece, level to make it work. And only some people have that. And Srila Prabhupada is telling us it's not that. It's like it's plug and play. You do the surrender, you do the serious, you do the sincere, you study his words, you immerse yourself in it, you take the help of other people who are interested in being his devotees, and you will get the result. Whether you're any kind of extra smart, extra genius, any of those talented, you don't have to be anything of those things. It will work for you, it will work for me, it will work for all of us here. And in that sense, it's a science. Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much. It's been very, very nice to be here with you. I'm so happy that we had this time together.
Thank you so, so much. We're really appreciative of you coming all this way to speak to us today, and it was a wonderful lecture that you gave to us. I'm going to be very quick with a few announcements for you today. I first want to start off with, is anyone here for the first time, or any people who've maybe come only once or twice before? Put your hands in the air. Oh, a lot of people today. Amazing. So this is Jessica right here in front of me. She's part of our welcoming team. Please, as soon as I'm done the announcements, come for the front, speak to her. She's going to give you some information about the temple, about what's going on, and you'll also get front of the line access for the prasadam, which is amazing. Also, Mataji was talking about the Gita. If anyone here doesn't have it, we have a book table in the hallway. Please feel free to talk to the volunteers there. They'll be happy to help you out with getting one for yourself. Okay, a couple of quick announcements. Tuesday is Ekadashi. This is a day where we fast from grains and beans. We're also fasting until noon for Lord Brahadev, whose appearance day is actually on Wednesday. On Thursday, we have a very big festival here, which starts at 6 o'clock. It's the appearance day of Srinati Nanda Prabhu. So we will be fasting until noon that day. And then there will be a celebration at 6 o'clock. If you are willing, you can wear blue that day in honor of Nityananda Prabhu, and that's his favorite color. If you need any more information, you can visit our website, which is torontokrishna.com. Today's feast, which is waiting for you, was cooked today by Dwarkanath Prabhu. So please, let's show some appreciation for all the hard work they did today. We also have five sponsors for today's feast. So there's a lot of work that goes into putting on every Sunday. There's a lot of work for making sure the water's on, the electricity, etc. So we are very appreciative of our donors. So I'm going to ask if our 5 donors are here, if they can come up to the front for a small token of appreciation. So our sponsors are Srinathan family, Gopal Krishnan Sundarajan on the occasion of his birthday, the family of Arav Singh on the occasion of his 5th birthday, Sandra Samaru on the occasion of her birthday, and one anonymous donor. So let's please show some appreciation by saying, and let's chant the Maha Mantra together for them. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. Oh, you want to keep going? We can keep going. That's fine. And then last announcement for today, we'll humbly request that when you get your plate, if you can please stay on this floor so that we can make sure everything gets cleaned. When you are done, there's garbage on the left here, and we will be stacking our plates and putting spoons in the garbage and food in the green bin. That helps us save on the amount of garbage bags that we put out for the day. Thank you very much. Please enjoy your prasadam. The doors will open at 8 o'clock. Thank you.